I'm offering to be your friend. Trust me, in a place like this, you're gonna need friends.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 video games banned in entire countries.
But I can't do it alone. To give you all the world's best play-by-play, we have Steve and his partner Dick keeping you abreast of all of the on-screen action.
For this list, we'll be looking at those wonderful playable stories and content that incurred the forced game over screen from an entire nation. There are some surprises in store here, as well as a couple of usual suspects. Were you unable to play a certain game in your country? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. EverQuest. It might seem more commonplace nowadays for players to choose whether they want to be a righteous paragon of good or a bad anti-hero protagonist in their video game journey. But Brazilian fans of massively multiplayer role-playing game EverQuest, a game where players go on an everlasting quest, this feature caused a legal quandary 9 years post-release. In 2008, the 17th Federal Court of Minas Gerais State ruled that EverQuest led to players' loss of moral virtue and took it off the shelves. Basically, because you could choose to be good or bad, it was banned. The Brazilian national ban was lifted, except for in Minas Gerais, who maintained their state's court order. Number 9. Postal 2.
No way, you freaking pinko.
Shit. Look, just sign the stupid petition. I've got stuff to do.
We know what you're thinking. How can a game that's based on an innocent mail delivery service be so offensive? Alas, the game, in which you play a protagonist going postal, delivers little but rather obscene violence. So it shouldn't be surprising that the 2003 sequel, which escalated the violence to nihilistic levels and carried the tagline, "Remember, it's only as violent as you are," would be anything but controversial. In fact, there are 13 countries that have banned this game altogether, including New Zealand, where it's a finable offense of 50,000 New Zealand dollars for retailers to distribute a copy. Yet, this didn't deter game makers running with scissors from taking it further, as Postal 4 No Regrets was released in 2019. Number 8. Football Manager 2005. We know what you're thinking. How does a game that's based on an innocent soccer management structure manage to offend? FM05 is definitely the most innocuous game on this list of banned video games. After all, it is essentially a series of lists of countries and independent nations, which is the issue. For classing Tibet and Taiwan as independent countries, the Chinese government released a statement saying that the game seriously violates Chinese law and has been strongly protested by our nation's gamers, and took it off the shelves. In China, it's illegal to go against the government narrative that they are independent nations, whether you regard them as such or not, and so Football Manager 2005 was sent off. Number 7. The Guy Game.
I don't know.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
An FBI agent.
This could potentially be the only game that has been banned in the United States for its actual content, but not because of any particular copyright law infringements. The Guy Game was an awful trivia game show style video game that featured footage of real life models every time you got a question right. But when it came out that one of the models featured was underaged at the time of filming, at 17 years, and was unlawfully coerced by not telling her the content she was filming for, the game was promptly recalled and banned. Number 6. Left 4 Dead 2.
Kill all sons of bitches. That's my official instructions.
Valve's Left 4 Dead sequel has had an interesting life in the Australian and German markets. Upon its release, the game was banned in Australia as the rating system did not go higher than the MA15+ that the first game was labeled. However, after Valve censored parts of the original game, it was unbanned in 2014 with a newly minted restricted content rating of R18+. To date, the original uncensored version of Left 4 Dead 2 has never been available on the Australian market. A similar situation happened in Germany, with a censored edition on the shelves until 2021, when the original version was released after a review. Number 5. Grand Theft Auto series. As most of Rockstar's games have been banned somewhere, they could probably have a list of their own. So here's the Cliff Notes version. The original 2D game is banned in Brazil, as is the GTA 4 expansion pack for using music from Brazilian musician Hamilton da Silva Lourenço without permission. GTA 3 was recalled in Australia despite its MA15+ rating, but after Rockstar modified the game, a censored version was released a year later. Similar censored versions of GTA installments were released in Germany, prompting their own ban to be lifted in 2012. After a taxi driver was killed in what was alleged as a copycat crime, Thailand banned the game, although GTA 5 is still available for digital download. Number 4. Carmageddon. Video game carnage has been considered taboo in some countries since the very first red pixel represented blood. However, even the most tolerant of governmental agencies did take exception to some titles in the earlier days of video game classifications, and that is true of this entry. Banned in Germany completely, Carmageddon was removed from the UK market for 10 months to give developers an opportunity to nullify the game's violent content. This involved removing all of the people from the game and replacing them with zombies or robots, turning their red blood green, so that the players weren't mowing down humans in-game, but the undead. Number 3. Pokémon Trading Card Game. Pokémon is many things to many people, but did you know that it was supposedly sacrilegious? The video game adaptation of the popular trading card game has been banned from Saudi Arabia due to its promotion of Zionist views. Yep, you heard that correctly. This stems from the believed usage of the Jewish Star of David and other religious imagery inserted in the game and on the cards. They have also banned subsequent games in the series for its promotion of gambling and evolution. The ban is slowly being lifted on the rest of the franchise, but has yet to be moved on the original Game Boy releases. Number 2. Bully.
I guess you don't suck.
Contain your shock. Another Rockstar game was banned. Except this time, it was only one country that did so, Brazil, and even then, Bully wasn't off the shelves forever. The ban was based on findings from the state's psychology department that believed the game would be harmful to young people. However, in 2016, the decision was reversed. Interestingly, there were calls for the British Board of Film Classification, BBFC, to ban or at least reclassify the game's initial 15 rating in the UK. In Florida, activist and former attorney Jack Thompson claimed it was a Columbine simulator, but his attempts to ban were overhauled by a judge order. Thompson was eventually disbarred after his numerous attempts to get families to sue Rockstar Games.
Come on, Russell. We've got a house call to make.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Manhunt 2. What a surprise that the final boss on this list would be Rockstar. Manhunt was a pretty controversial game upon its release in 2003. Its successor certainly lived up to that level of infamy, spurred on by the game's unrelenting displays of violence. In the UK, the BBFC refused to classify Manhunt 2 and were even pressured to reclassify the edited version as well. Somewhat ironic, given that the game was made by Rockstar's British offices. The game is completely banned in Germany, Malaysia, New Zealand, and South Korea. It was never released in Australia thanks to a similar non-submission to the Australian Classification Board, and banned in Ireland in a then unprecedented decision by the Irish Film Censors Office.
In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.